guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on our YouTube account and we are looking at our Cursed Realm. So I do have an updated guide for Dark Entity. Dark Namora, there is an updated guide. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to show you the teams that I'm utilizing within here. Also show you some variations of the teams that we're utilizing in here. I'm going to go through, I'm going to run the battles so we can kind of check it out and talk through exactly what we're using in here. So the very first team, we have our traditional Kren and Oden super crowd control guys. We have Damon and we have Mishka to hold everyone in the back. Now, one thing that I've noticed is insight and engraving on a majority of these heroes makes a absolute huge difference, because as the enrage does go up on these heroes, the crowd control becomes less evident, or it actually has a negative effect, or it has no effect, depending on the, I believe it is the tenacity that the heroes have. So tenacity, most of it comes from engraving, which is the reason why Kren can lock everyone in the back. Oden, of course, doing a ton of damage in there. And with your primary damage dealers, you really want to build up the engraving. They are really dependent on the stats that we have in here. So this, guys, is, again, the best in slot, or the meta team for this comp. And you can see, guys, how cool it is to lock everybody right into this back area, doing 3.1, probably 3.3 billion damage, because they have this ability and because they are built to where they are. Look at that, 3.3 billion damage on that one. This one, of course, we have Scarlet and we have Grez. Grez is going to keep the minions up, twins with the super cycle. We have Silas in here for the damage mitigation, the attack boost, and the healing, and Estrella is in here for the attack boost and the defense. So with this formation, essentially what you're doing is just supercharging Scarlet. That is the reason why we built Scarlet higher. That is why we have over that 9 of 9 furniture. We have the engraving on these heroes as well. Accuracy also does play a part when it comes to Grez and his minions. So having accuracy can play a part with the damage that he's putting out with those minions itself. Look at that, doing over 2 billion damage. Silas died out a little bit faster than I'd want. I need to get him a higher engraving level. This one is about Torn, guys. We actually have Morio back here who puts up the star, meaning the heroes are going to move. Torn with the bone shards will keep all of these heroes moving, which means, again, that they're taking damage every time they move. Now in here, guys, you do have to have Saurus and probably built up a little bit more. Then I have him here. Saurus is the primary healer. Saurus is who keeps everybody up in here, because he does bring the healing factor. You can see, guys, this one not super effective. Even though I have Moreal and Torn both built, the damage is significantly lower, which means for this team comp, I'm going to look at swapping something else out, possibly so we can score a little bit higher. Now, within this game mode particularly, it's very important, guys, that you have the heroes, but you're maximizing the damage to get the rewards out of here. This one, Lucretia and Frampton, it's a very cool combination. But again, I feel like I need Queen a little bit higher. We've built her up a little bit, but not to the point that we need her. Same with Scarath. It seems like Scarath is doing an incredible amount of damage, locking these targets down, just for the simple fact of this team never really worked for me, and now we're almost to the point where it does. Again, even with Lucretia, even with Queen's ability to really stack everybody together, almost 1 billion damage in there, so not too bad overall. This, of course, is our lockdown team. Made a big difference. I actually got Albedo up to the plus 30 engraving. I have Leonardo past that plus 30 engraving, so we can continue to maximize the damage in here. Solus is a pretty unique hero, as she does an incredible amount of damage, and she does it to multiple targets. That's kind of the difficult part here, is keeping this team specifically alive with the damage that she is putting up. But you can see, guys, Albedo, I need a little bit more furniture on, a little bit more build within there, and we would be good. Then, of course, guys, the final one, we have the Awakened Thane, and then I have the Borrowed Taline for Miller of. Thank you very much for letting me borrow Taline, but this is the team that seems to do the best. I know that, again, there are a couple variations. Taline can actually burn through them very quick. And with the Awakened version of Thane, when he kills the target, he moves to the next target. so they can burn through, again, the targets relatively quick. And he does get the boost with his wind shear ability. I have Awakened Thane completely maxed out. Again, I know a lot of players don't have Thane built out, which means you're going to have to do some substitutes. And that's why we're going to look at kind of the breakdown of the substitutions that we can do in here in just a minute. So overall, I've been doing pretty well. Even there, 10 billion damage. That one team just needs a little bit of help. We have 7 attempts left. So I'm going to swap over now. We're going to take a look at the guide. I want to run through it and show you exactly the ults that you can use. I will also put a link to the guide down below so you can check it out yourself. Let's go ahead and take a look at the guide. All right, guys, so here is the guide. Big shout out to Jason Lee for putting these guides out. This is the updated one, again, for the Demonic Entity or the Dark Namora. You can see some of these formations do have quite a bit of variance in here, again, depending on the heroes that you do have built. But there are some that are super, super stuck, like this first one. Guys, the only swap within here is Mishka and Anasta. Most players at this point should have Mishka. Big thing with this, though, is if you do not have, or if you have Mishka built, we also do find Mishka in a couple different alternative formations. Again, depending on the heroes that you do have built. So, of course, we have Kren and Oden. They are really the only ones within this team that creates that lockdown event that we've seen, stacking everyone right in the bottom. And then, of course, Mishka and Damon keep them completely locked into that back area because they actually can't get through there. Mortis for the buffs to kind of create that super cycle. Second team, again, Scarlet Grez twins. You can see when you start competing within the Curse Realm, those are the heroes you're really looking at. We have Estrella in here for the buffs, like I had said. You can also put Baden in here. We also do have, you can see Rosaline possibly in here, Rowan possibly in here. So they are some pretty good alternatives. But again, these three are the ones that really create that cycle. And then Silas down here is the attack rating boost on Scarlet, which makes a huge difference when you have Silas completely built. Looking at the third team, guys, again, we have the healer, which is Saurus. We have to keep his stacks up. If Saurus loses his stacks, he doesn't get the healing ability. Hodgkin, of course, is a huge buffer. I've actually been kind of shocked on how well he does in the buffing aspect. We have Moreel in here, and then we have Torn in here. Again, Torn is the primary damage dealer in here. I need him built higher. I need higher signature items. I need a lot more out of him, which the alternative puts Leonardo da Vinci in here, but I do have Leonardo da Vinci in the teams down here. So again, might have to look at doing a couple little swaps here and there, just for the fact that we need more crowd control in here. Because you'll see, guys, this whole variation is really the crowd control team relying on Raku doing an incredible amount of damage. If you don't have Moreel and if you don't have Torn, which a lot of players do not, this substitute formation or alternate formation does work incredibly well. Now, looking at Team 4, guys, this is a ton of different formations in here. As you can see, a lot of players, again, don't have Frampton. Some more have Zafriel. Anasta kind of a little bit newer, but this team, alternate team 3, is usually what players are utilizing because they do have Iran. So it is the 5 pull with Lucretia in there. Again, alternative comps in here are huge. Queen, you do have to have built up a little bit with the engraving, again, for that tenacity aspect, so she can actually crowd control the targets around what Iran and everyone is doing. I've noticed it not only in the Curse Realm, but also in the campaign with having Queen built up a little bit. It does make a very, very big difference. Now, looking at Team 5, of course, is Ainz and Albedo. The combination go together like peanut butter and jelly, works incredibly well. Rosaline following Ainz, and then we have crowd control, and then Helos in here. Now, again, if you do not have Leonardo, or if you borrowed him for another team, you can actually swap Arthur in here, running almost a full dimensional team in here, which again works incredibly well. So I might actually try out R5 using alternate 1 and then R3 using alternate 1 as well to see exactly where I can score within there. Then, of course, mix and match yourself based on your hero roster. Thane, the Awakened version, or the regular version have worked incredibly well in here because of how their ultimate ability is built. Awaken Taylene in here as well because of that burn factor that she does. You can see, guys, Chimera still makes her way in here. Audrey still makes the way in here. This is the comp, but these are the substitutes that you can kind of swap in there depending on who you have built. Again, a lot of players with more real don't have her built up that high, but you want to keep Rain in there. You want to keep Rowan in there. The other three can kind of be substituted out for what you do have. Prince of Persia works incredibly well because of the crowd control factor that he does bring in there. But remember, heroes like Chimera is you want the massive AoE damage to be able to take down all of Dark Namora's additions or little driefs within there to really build it out. So guys, I'm going to alt my formation. I'm going to change up some of the formation based on his guide. See exactly if we can score a little bit higher with some of our attempts. But that'll do it for today's video, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.